promised, another video. Dan Jackson, aka Dan's the Engineer here. I get asked all the time, what tools do I use? So in the past, in my previous videos, I never really mentioned what kit I use. Before I left the UK, I had my van broken into when it was in the car park at the XL in London for Firex, and my whole van was cleaned out. So I had drills in there, hand tools, laptop, camera, loads of stuff I was going to take, literally all gone. Done, dusted, test equipment, you name it, all gone. However, my dad the other day said, oh, you've got loads of tools in my garage. They've been in there for years. I was like, have I? Completely forgot about it. So I used to love collecting tools. There's nothing more I liked, and this is before I had children, by the way, going somewhere like a tool shop, you know, like small tool shops, one-off independents, or even some of the, you know, even things like B&Q, for example. Used to love to get myself a nice gadget. And over the years, I've gone through stuff with having all these weird and wonderful, wacky inventions. Some of them a load of crap. Some of them have made my life quite easy. I always used, you know, a basic stuff, but I had so many tools. So I got all the stuff out of my dad's garage. I've got it at my new place, and I just wanted to show you some of the stuff because some of it's quite interesting. And bear in mind, this gear is tools that I haven't used in a long time, because I haven't actually been on the tools for, God, years now. I used to go out on site and help the guys occasionally. On site, sorry, just put my shoes on. Gonna go outside. I used to help the guys on site, but all of this stuff is stuff I used to use years and years ago. So, just set up a new compost, by the way. You see that? I get really excited about composting. So, here we go. This is what I've got. I've got an assortment of screw tins, some test equipment, some other bits and pieces. I'll show you what that bit of kit is in a minute. Toolboxes. Now these are just sort of leftover stuff that I haven't needed in a long time. So this, I bought off my mate for 50 quid. He bought it, never used it, and he was like, oh, it's not doing anything. He said, do you want it for 50 quid? Go for it. 110. The reason I got it, I was working on a site in Nottingham on a massive new build house. It was a 2-year project, and we had to do loads of chasing. So it was all block work, and I used an angle grinder because my boss at the time wouldn't get me proper chasing kit. He said there's no money in it, so we thought, well, okay, we'll just angle grind. And I tell you what, that earned its money. That was great. Now I used to use this as all my big bashing stuff, so chisels and all sorts of, you know, bits and pieces. So this was always stuck in a van. If we see in the top here, a lot of it's old pyro gear, MICC, you know, all sorts of odds and sods. Used to keep blades, as you know, all good condition. Joy strippers. Now I used to do a lot of petrol stations, and we used to do a lot of groundworks, and I used to have to do a lot myself. So I used to actually get involved with a bit of concreting, skimming it all off. Bloody useless at it, but there we go. Floorboard saw. It's getting a bit rusty now. I think I bought that from Wix for like 4 quid. Mixing up some plaster for making good, and all sorts of trowels in here for that. Used to use that quite a lot, doing the old chases. In late years, you never used to make good, but in my early days I used to. Now these, I used them for a while, but I found they break, so they're twin and earth strippers. I think they are anyway. Another gadget that I spent a lot of money on and I didn't really rate. There's new things out these days. By the way, if there's anything that you think, you know, any sort of modern stuff that you use, put it in the comments below and I'll check them out. I like to have a little bit of a nose at some of the latest gadgets. Old Stilsons, this bad boy, rubber mallet, for making sure the apprentice is doing his job okay. Only joking, never do any of that sort of thing. Floorboard lifter, great tool, fantastic tool. Now, junior hacksaw, the only thing I used to use these for is up to 4mm armoured, so otherwise I just use a normal hacksaw. I think these are a load of crap and they don't really have their place. Obviously the blade's smaller than a normal hacksaw, but yeah, barely use that. So yeah, all sort of for chasing, all sorts of gear in here. My old hard hat from this company, JH Gab Electrical. Used to work for them, finished my apprenticeship on that company, but they went bust. Now this I used to keep for all my odds and sods for testing all various different bits and pieces. Now I had another bag which was stolen. That's actually got nothing in it. So yeah, in here I used to love this torch. See, again, I'm pleased I got that. That's really good because it gives 5 hours of light, and it's actually pretty decent. Got a proving kit there. This is a laser measurer, so when I used to go and do surveys, you can put the laser on. You see there, and it will take a measurement of how far away it is, and great for fire alarms, so you can measure the distances in a room to make sure you've got enough coverage. And it's got like, this one's got Bluetooth as well, which I never used to actually use. Now this is a cool little bit of kit. It's a GSM, it measures phone signal in areas. So I used to use a bit of kit called Land Control's Nimbus Fire Alarm Management System. So when I used to do surveys, I used to check out the signal because it relied on mobile signal to see how effective it will be, and it uses a world sim, so you can see if O2's okay, Vodafone, but it's actually quite handy. Good bit of kit that. So yeah, got that from Land Controls. All different sort of probes here for, what's that? I think that's, yeah, it went with a mega kit. Now I've got tons and tons of, these are just data continuity testers, so just to check that the cables are okay. All it measures is continuity, so you know, that's all in good condition. Bear in mind, I never used to use it. Another data tester in there. I've got all sorts of different bits of leads, bits of kit for testing. All sorts of leads for fire alarms. I used to keep it in a much neater pile, but in the later years, keep my badge with some keys on there, you know. There's a multimeter in there. It's a real basic one. Probably hasn't been calibrated for years. So yeah, that's a lot of my old testing bag, and this is just one, bear in mind. I used to actually have loads and loads and loads, all stolen. Lock off kit, there's all different various locks for different applications. I used to keep everything here mainly, so yeah, there's all sorts of fancy contraptions in there. Again, this was just a spare one. My main one got stolen, literally everything gone. So this was my main toolbox that I used for years and years and years. It served me well, and I used to lump this around, and mate, it's heavy, I tell you what. But I used to cut trunking on it, you name it. It's always, yeah, good investment. So I've got an assortment of screwdrivers in the top here, punch down tool. These don't last long, to be honest. Use it on one job and done, throw it away. But always keep one spare. There's all sorts in here, you know, things like this for cleaning out swarf in the bottom of a board, cleaning it all out. This is this CK. It fits. I can't focus on it. It fits MCBs, but it's, oh yeah, I never liked it. It was crap. Rethreading tool. So if you break a lug or cross thread lug on a socket back box, handy bit of kit. Stubby screwdrivers always come in handy. All sorts of grips here. I've always liked the ones that don't slip, so they're in place. So just like them. Some bigger versions, some conduit bits and pieces. Look, although I used to have an attachment that went on a drill and just, you know, drill it out, but obviously I can use it by hand. Yeah, all sorts in there. Let's see what's. Aha, label gun. So I used to have about 3 of these bad boys. What one do you use these days? Because I've seen people using different bits and pieces, but this is real basic, and I think it should be a part of every electrician's toolbox. Labelling is really important. All different hole saws for making access holes and what have you. Chalk lines. I know a lot of people use lasers these days. I used to use the old method of chalk and string. Old dry line box. Put that on. Do your holes, bash it out. Plasterboard, nice and easy. Now, this, love this bit of kit. This bad boy, I mean, they're quite a lot of money. It's Ratchet Croppers. So it's for bigger cables, okay? It's quite difficult to do with one hand. Hang on. It's quite stiff as well. I used to actually oil all my tools up once a month and service them all, but this needs a good old going over. So you put your cable in there, so it might be a big core, I don't know, 95mm, whatever, and it's just ratchet, so it makes a nice clean cut. So this goes down, because obviously you don't want to be cutting big armoured copper with hacksaw, because it makes a right dog's dinner of it, whereas this is a nice clean cut. Now, really important, this is designed to cut copper or soft metals similar to copper, not steel. If I found anybody cutting steel with my tools, I'll cut their bollocks, literally. You don't use my tools on steel. Use the right tool for the right job. One thing I hate is seeing cutters like this. I think you might be able to see here, side cutters there, there's actually a little hole in it. It looks like someone's used them to cut steel. Now if I found out who done that, snip. But yeah, I hate side cutters. The only thing I think they're good for are for cable ties, literally. So these are still okay for that, because when you're cutting conductors, it sort of crushes them more than cut, I find. Anyway, that's just me. All sorts of stuff for making up F&N ends off, you know, bush spanner. Old conduit work, used to love a bit of conduit. There's loads in here, look. All sorts of screwdrivers, lifters, plasterboard saw, got used a lot. Used to do a lot of shop fitting, so a lot of plasterboard. And I think this cost me £3. I think it's from a little place I used to call Aladdin's Cave in Ashton. My dad, who's a builder, used to take me to, just a tool shop. £3, bargain. And then yeah, all sorts of stuff that probably used a few times. Allen keys. I know I was really guilty of just carrying over stuff that I probably didn't need. All different screwdrivers. So yeah, I've got quite a range of screwdrivers here. I used to use CK quite a lot. Used to like the brand. What brand do you like? Let me know. So yeah, anyway, that's enough of that. Now, this, my parents bought me, I think I was 12 years old, this socket set. I think it's from Halfords. They bought me this. I used to keep it in mint condition, and I was servicing my little girl's bike the other day with it, and I used to love this, and it's still in really great condition. So that's 20 years old. This, look at condition. It's not the greatest set in the world, but for a 12-year-old, it's done me well. And I used to use it on jobs. So yeah, I'm pleased I've still got that. Now this bad boy, I was given this. I've done a video. Oh, I've opened up the wrong way, haven't I? This is the Apollo tester. It's the Apollo test kit. Apollo gave it to me. I've done a video on it. It's a great bit of kit. I thought this had gone. I thought this was stolen. It's still here. I'm so pleased when I found I got this. So yeah, this is a great bit of kit. Now, I think, if you're testing, I think you should have a long lead. I mean, you can make your own, obviously, and these are actually quite expensive, but for R2 testing, verifying bonds, earthing conductors, or even fault finding, this comes in real handy. I always used to keep one of these. Ooh, electrician's working. And I used to keep an assortment of screw tins. Now, I can't tell you how handy these are coming, and a crowbar. There you go. But yeah, I used to keep all different screw tins with clips in, you know, capping nails, little brass screws, machine screws, all sorts of screws in here, different types, labels. Used to be much neater, all steel stuff for bolting uni-strut channel together. And my dad actually bought me, well, he got me this kit because he used to do kitchen fitting, he's a builder. So I used to keep crimps and that here. So yeah. So yeah, this is just a few, literally a few of what I used to keep. So as an electrician or any tradesman, you'll know that you need a lot of tools. And don't get me wrong, it depends what line of work you do, but this is just stuff that I've built up over the years, and I used to do a big variety of work. So I needed loads of kit, but obviously I haven't needed this in a long time. I didn't even know it existed. And now I'm you know, I don't do much on the tools at all. I need some real basic stuff. I haven't even got croppers. I've got those side cutters that have got a hole in them, but I haven't even got, you know, normal cable cutters. I've got a few old pliers so I can sort of get by. I haven't got power tools or anything, all gone. And I can imagine a few of you have had your stuff nicked as well, and it's absolutely gutted. Some bloke I know the other day said in London he got done over. Yeah, anyway. So, anyway, I just thought I'd show you some of my tools. I will do some more videos like this, I guess, about just general stuff that I used to do, that I've done in the past, what I do now, what I've got now. And I've got my shed that I can do some little demonstrations if I need to. Anyway, guys, bit of a different video from me, but I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.